Jay Kenya, quite an entertaining game from certain aspects, but I love the audacity of your fly half to start throwing some loopy overhead passes.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jan, they've told me about him, they said he's a bit of a maverick, but look, he's an unbelievable rugby player, and I mean, he's going to get better and better. This is only the second game he's played with this group of players, and, so you can see he's still finding his feet. But I can only wax lyrical about him. He's really talented, and I mean, I suppose there isn't much he can't do. And while he's here, obviously we're going to try and develop him as much as we can in our backline. I mean, again, the centres have, you would know, Harold and Lionel have played lots and lots of rugby together. So it was also nice to have a settled centre combination with him, which probably helps him as well. And then have a captain and a Springbok on the wing, also being able to talk to him about space outside.
Yeah, you got a nice backline building up there. Springbok veterans.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think one of the things I'm really excited about is we got Stedman Gans coming back from after the Olympics. We got Kurtley Orense coming back. So we looking good. I mean, I think that those guys. We've got Stravino's out for a while now. When I say he's a couple of weeks, maybe he can also come back. So things are looking positive because at least we got different combinations and. Mornay Steyn still are going to come back to us from the box as well. So, yeah, hopefully, when we get everyone fit and available, we can pick a really good backline.
Like, of course, those backs can only flourish if your forwards win a good ball and the guys really stepped up physically. I know there were a couple of scrums here and there that went the Lions' way, but overall, good physicality.
Yeah, Ashfaq. I mean, I'm sure we learned a lot from last week. We played the SAA side. You can imagine, they're playing against guys that are obviously on top of the game, and a lot of those guys play in the Northern Hemisphere. So it was nice for us to be able to replicate what we did last week, physicality-wise and forwards-wise, because obviously we can build on that. So you're right. I mean, you're never really happy. I mean, as a coach, you always want the perfect game. But it was I think it was a good outing. We struggle against the Lions. I said it the whole week. They're one team that just hang on and the way they play. I mean, who would have thought they scored almost a 95-meter try when we were looking at scoring in the corner there? That just again shows what kind of team the Lions are. So, yeah, I'm very happy with the way we put everything together.
Jack, just on that vein, two players have made notes of Chuka and Similani. Obviously, they were some of the star players of the Lions.
Yeah.
How much of a competition was this, taking them into consideration? And I know you guys don't like to nominate certain players. You want to talk about the team as a whole. But how much of a competition was that, taking into consideration what you've just said?
Yeah, Simon, I mean, they're two really good players. I mean, Similani was in the box squad till last week. And Satsuka, I'm sure, when he gets his passport or when he gets his paperwork sorted, is going to be, one of those guys that I'm sure the national team would look at. So, I mean, the fact that they rushed him back, and I'm saying he was injured and they rushed him back, he hurt his shoulder in that British Lions game. I'm talking about Chichuka now. Shows how important he is for their team, So, and the same for Wandile Similani. I mean, he came back and literally the next week he's starting, and not only at centre, he's starting at fullback. So, yeah, I mean, it's they're very talented players, and they're very important to the way the Lions play. I mean, you've seen if it's not Chichuka running through the middle, then it's Similani using his footwork and obviously the skills and the pace that he has outside.
Jake, you score 40 points, 6 tries, and obviously everyone's going to wax lyrical about the attack, but just a word on the defence, because it really looks like the guys are really priding themselves on defence. There was some really fierce work.
Yeah, I mean, that one block at the back end of the first half, I mean, with 14 men on our try line, we showed, I mean, most teams, I suppose, could have just given the try and gone into half-time. I thought the way they defended there was outstanding. And I think that's the first maul try we've conceded, I think, ever, that we've conceded. So, yeah, it was a throw over the back, and they caught us a little bit with a line-out, but it's the first time I think we've conceded a maul try. So it wasn't just the balance of our team and getting off the ground. I think the way our forwards have fronted up maul and scrum-wise has been fantastic. So, yeah, hopefully we'll build on that, Ken.
According to the national selectors, Johan Grobler is not counting between the top 5 hookers in the country,
yeah.
Which is a bit laughable. But My question is, how do you keep a guy like him motivated, and how do you keep him in the country? I suppose the Northern Hemisphere club teams are licking their lips for a guy like him.
Yeah, because look, I think he wants to play for South Africa. I think he has ambitions of playing international rugby, and I think to answer your question, the way we keep him here is we keep, playing him, and we keep, I suppose, doing well as a group, and he'll want to be part of this group. He's still young. I think we must also not forget that, he's in terms of the hookers we've got. If you look at Malcolm Marks and Scurry Ntabeni and Bongi, they're older guys, so they've also had to wait a long time before they get their chance, and his time will come. His time will come. I think, at this point in time, like anything, he's probably a bit frustrated, and I'm supposed because, he would like all young boys to be a Springbok, but, I've chatted to him, Chris, and I think that I'm basically working hard on him, understanding it's, we've got to build the blocks together, and, I'm sure that we'll keep him at the Bulls.
Any more questions, gentlemen?
Jake, just on your special Waterboy there, new Waterboy.
Yes.
Just his impact and how's he doing in terms of his injury?
Yeah, Ashfaq, I saw him running quite nicely today with his water bottles up and on the field, and I'm obviously very happy that he's there. He's hell of important for us. You guys see how important he is when he's on the field. So, by his own reasoning, he would like to be part of it, and it's fantastic that he's healthy enough and nearly said wealthy enough, but healthy enough that he can come and run on the field, and I think his injuries look
and wealthy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell him that, but anyway, he's Ashfaq. It's great that he's with us. His foot's coming on, his ankle's coming on. I'm hoping in the next week or two, he can be back on the field with his playing kit on, and I'm sure. I don't know about the time frame in terms of the Lions series, because I know you're going to ask me that just now. But as soon as we can get him on the field training, that'll be obviously better for him and us.
Jake, you said you wanted to have a look at Elrich Lowe at eighth man.
Yeah.
You must have been pretty impressed with how he went today.
Yeah, Ken. I thought little subtleties. That little pick up and run around the back of the scrum out of our 22. It just adds so much more to our game. I suppose what we would have done in the past, he just set the scrum, given the ball back to Goosen, let him kick it out. So to have his athletic ability of being able to pick up the ball, run around the corner, beat the flanker, and then obviously draw and pass, give it to the 9, and from there I think Cornwall kicked the ball down the field. So little things like that. We all know he's a great carrier. We know he's a great rugby player. And I think the other thing, Ken, which I'm really happy about, he hasn't played rugby before. That's the first game of rugby he's had because he's been out with his same injury that Dwayne had. So for him to come on the field and play sort of 65 minutes like he did, can only bode well for us in the future, because at least we're getting the best out of him.
Last word, Jake, from my side. Gerard Steenekamp, obviously a man going from strength to strength. I made a note on the 45th minute scrum against Saudi, dubious call, but obviously you must be very satisfied with it.
Yeah, Simon, look, he was a number 8 at school. I think he was at Potchefstroom. He tells everyone he was at Gym, and then he tells everyone afterwards he was at Potchefstroom. So, and I'm happy. He's a number 8. He's converted to prop. He's doing really well. I think Russell Winters worked really hard on him and his game as well. And his scrumming will come, but you can see that line break he had. You could see he looked really comfortable running sort of 40, 50 meters with the ball in his hand. So, yeah, if we can just let him, again, he's young, like Grobbies and like Mornay Smith. If we can just develop that group together, hopefully we'll have a really strong front row in the next couple of seasons.
Jake, a short turnaround to Friday and Province.
Yeah.
Do you have enough players getting any guys back? I know you mentioned Jacques du Plessis last week.
Yeah, I know that you're a selector for Western Province, Ashfaq, and I know you want to find out what the game's going to be on. But the short turnaround is we've probably got a longer turnaround than Province, because they're in Nelspruit. They've got to probably fly home tomorrow, and then so we're not that badly done for. And selection-wise, we've got Marcel Coetzee will be available, Jacques du Plessis will be available. No, I'm kidding, Ashfaq. And then obviously a guy like Nizam Kar will be available. But yeah, it's wonderful. I just joked when I said to Bandiso just now, it's wonderful that we can put in guys like Veer and Arnu late replacements, because those two guys didn't come through this week, and we can still play like that. So, there's massive amounts of confidence in our group, and Province will be no different. We're going to end up, they've got a great win today. I'm sure they've got their campaign back on track. And we're going to probably play at Newlands. I think it looks like the game might be moved to Newlands because of the test matches all staying in Cape Town Stadium. So, yeah, we'll get another chance of playing on Newlands, which will be fantastic for us.
Okay, final
And
question.
yeah, I thought I'm
please.
part of your Bulls selection committee.
Only when I pick Nazam, Ashfaq.
Okay, thank you very much,
All right.
gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, James.